Hello, hello. Does this work? Should be. Volume should be good. Hopefully. Awesome. Hey, what's up? How's it going, everybody? So, happy Friday, as Danny had mentioned at the beginning. Hey, Robert. Is it V1D300? What does that stand for? Let me know. Hey, Dragon Dust, how's it going? Did the stream bot just come in? Maybe, hopefully. Hey, Moritz, how's it going? And Jay. And Dragon Dust, and Michael, and Omar. Oh man, lots of you are here. Nice to see all of you. Hopefully, okay, yeah, everybody is showing up in chat. They weren't for a minute there, and I was kind of confused. Also, it looks like the stream element, like bot thing, try to play that, and it's gonna play on stream. Looks like I broke it. Yeah, very possible. Who knows? Okay, let's see. Subscriber event. Click. Okay. Unless, oh wait, was that a real one? Because usually it says test or something. If that was real, thank you for subscribing. If not, I'm gonna click the button again and let's see. Okay, no, I think that was the test one. Okay, so that is good. I don't know then what's happening with the stream elements not being in chat. Hopefully that doesn't affect anything. Otherwise, I don't know. You all still can see the chat like in YouTube itself, so I think it should be fine. And the overlays are playing, so I'm guessing it's good. We'll see. I'm gonna just click the save button, you know, just in case. We will find out. Okay, close all of those windows. So, thank you to everybody for joining this morning. So many of you, and several contributors too as well. So I'm excited to like get into. I have a couple questions for a few of you, so I'm excited to get into that. Hey Prathamesh, nice to see you as well. So yeah, let's get into what we will be doing today, which is reviewing some PRs. Oh, and Jay, by the way, I messaged you on Discord. Message me back. And I can say that live, so it's like, that's funny. But, yeah, well, that's funny. But yeah, message me back, please. Please send me, don't leave me on red. So hopefully everyone's having a good day. This is a little lower. There we go. I have my Hacktoberfest shirt on again. Maybe I'll just wear the same shirt all month. Maybe that's what's gonna happen. And so Hacktoberfest, for anybody who doesn't know yet, is an open source contribution month just dedicated to getting into open source. So if you've never done that before, now is the time. I will drop the link to my repo below once the page loads. You've been reevaluating your notifications and Discord has been turned off. I'll just text you instead then. Send you all the notifications. But for Hacktoberfest, so I just dropped the link to my repo. So if you want to contribute to an iOS dev Hacktoberfest project, this would be the one to do. So go watch my last live stream. This is the one live stream I finally actually put timestamps into it. So you can actually see what I'm doing when, because I always forget to go back and do that. Literally on like all my streams, I forget to do that. If anybody ever gets bored and wants to do that for me, feel free. But back there, you can see how to get started with this project and everything. So then this stream is actually going to be about reviewing PRs. So there's several PRs going on, and I'm going to go and review all of them. Actually, not all of them. I'm going to review some of them, and then you'll see what I look for when reviewing PRs. So let's switch over to that one and look at what we have. Also, here, wait, I'm gonna go back. See my big mug that I have Here is my Hacktoberfest mug that is filled with water. So that is what we're drinking from today. Okay, the app won't build for you. Embedded identifier is not prefixed. Okay, so I definitely broke the project slightly. So I'm sorry about that. What happened is when I created the widget bundle, I completely forgot that the widget bundle has its own bundle identifier. So when you work on the project, you can change that, but what you actually commit, you should not commit that, or you can and then just go and change it back right before you put up the PR. I am gonna try to fix that today because Moritz has a PR up about improving the project and using a lot of different configs and adding some stuff. So I'm going to try to work on that today. I've been distracted with all the other PRs. Like, oh my gosh, there's so many, which is amazing. And I'm super grateful. And it's been super fun. I think we did just reach. So we have 15 people contributed. If I would have merged PRs yesterday from except Moritz, except Omar, and Aaron and Dragon Dust, if I would have accepted all of yours, what is that, 4? We would have had 4 more PRs, so we would have had 19 people in 5 days, which is absolutely insane and crazy, and that's super awesome. The docs have been created, so if you click on this link now, let's open that up. Oh, there we go. We have the docs. So this is created with this Charles, which is what is called DocC. So this is a framework by Apple for making documentation. So this matches the very first documentation here. So this markdown file, so a basic app, and then this is open source. This matches here. So one of the issues that I'm going to be making is about updating some of this documentation. So as you can see, if we wanted to look at this contributor struct, we can see the initializer and all the different properties that are here, but none of it is actually documented. Most of it is self-explanatory, but you can go through and document like what each of these properties actually mean, and that'll be an issue. Can't stick around for long today. You're off to karaoke. Ooh, that sounds super fun. Okay, so the first thing, let's see. I have terminal open somewhere. There we go. I was like, I use terminal typically for most Git kind of things, but then sometimes I switch off and also use Git Kraken, which, let me find the link for Git Kraken. And I will drop that in chat here. So this is Git Kraken. So this is the one I typically use for really viewing a diff, but if I'm gonna just do like merging and branching and stuff, I typically use terminal for that. So let's get started and look at, did I open the PRs? No, I closed them. Okay, right here. So the first PR let's look at is Dragon Dust. I have a comment on yours. Can you merge the dev branch into your branch? Because yours is actually going to be the last one that I review. So for anybody who doesn't know, this PR is all about using the new observation framework in Swift. Yeah, in Swift UI. Because this past year at DubDub, they came out with what are they called? Macros, which are the observable macros. So if we close all this, this is where instead on a view model, and oops, not that one, this. Instead of on a view model, now instead of using observable object, we start to use an an observable macro instead. And then that allows you to get rid of all of these published properties, and they just become regular variables. So Dragon Dust, one thing, if you can merge dev into your branch, that would be great. Because I think I messed it up once, but then also I don't think it's updated just yet. You use Fork for all things Git, Prathamesh, by far the best money you've spent on any software ever. Yes, I have heard good things about Fork. Git Kraken is an Electron app, which is not as fun, makes me slightly sad, but they're focused on more Git more so than it being a native Mac app. But yeah, Fork is a native Mac app, which is really nice. So here I started reviewing parts of this. So what we were looking at, I've looked at this PR actually several times, and sorry if the font's kind of small. Hopefully you can kind of see that. But yeah, so the first thing we're looking at is what we do is remove state object and replace it with state for a lot of the app. So we see that is what happened here. We see that on the second line, we remove the state object wrapped value because we're passing in something. We're just initializing with initial value, and that's good. And then with the dashboard view model, so another thing I typically do to see if this works is use what's called the GitHub CLI. So if we look at the GitHub CLI, this allows you to do like GH issue list. So if we wrote GH issue list, this shows all of the issues. And then GHPR checkout, that's what I will actually be running in a second. But you can like basically interact with GitHub through the command line if you are interested. It's pretty fun. But I really like GHPR checkout, and then we can check out the issue number itself. You can see it's auto-filling in through a different thing. But this allows me to easily check out Dragon Dust's branch and not actually need to type out the whole branch name. Late to game, total beginner. Can I still jump in? Hey, Chris. Yes, you can. We are just getting started. We're reviewing PRs for my Hacktoberfest project, and that's what we're doing. So I've only gone through one file at the moment. So, oh, is that a refresh? Did you just do that? Who did that? Okay. So that is what we're doing right now. So part of looking through this PR, one thing is we're changing everything from using observable object here to using the observable macro, which is brand new. And this is the reason I made this iOS 17 minimum. You're done. Okay. What I did was I did this for the reason that I made the project iOS 17 minimum so we could use observable. I wasn't 100% sure yet how to use observable macro, so I didn't do it when I built the sort of MVP version. But I wanted to make an issue for somebody to do it, and I think I never did. So Dragon Dust, I think you did this one on your own, like created the issue, which is great because I never got around to it, but that's sort of where the background of this issue kind of came from. So if we look at this, I typically will kind of look through the diff of what's going on and then also look at the code itself, because sometimes reading the diff kind of gets confusing here and there. So then it's nice to just look at it over here. Yeah, Dragon Dust, you thought it'd be useful. Yes, I was planning on doing that, and I just totally ran out of time. There is another issue that right now is stopping people from working on widgets at the moment, but that's two issues. One is the bundle ID that I'm gonna fix, and Moritz, I have some questions. And then two is the data models are not actually connected. So let's see if we build the project. Oh no, build failed. Dragon Dust, something is still failing, by the way. Oh, it's in the contributor list view. Because that was new from before you put up the PR. And so, yeah, here, let me check out the main project. Let me run the project so anybody who hasn't seen it yet can see what the app does. Yeah, oh no, it's failing live on stream too. It's okay. It happens. Okay, so what happens here is we have this dashboard with what are called events. And these are events for maintenance, like on your car. So you can go in here, add a new vehicle. So I don't have any yet. So if I say my car is a Chevy, what are the truck models? 1500? If I do that, click add. Okay, now I have a Chevy, it's called 1500, and the name of it is my car. So if we do that and then go back over to events, we can create new events. So like this would be an oil change, a tire rotation, things like that, basically. Checking, make sure everything's good on stream. Cool. Ooh, so far, I don't want to jinx it. Knock on wood. So far, 0 drop frames, which is amazing. My internet never does that. It struggle buses. So we do that, and then, so the one issue I have at the moment with the app that I'm gonna hopefully code today is this event is not connected to which vehicle. So think of, you could track your vehicle or your partner's vehicle, sister, brother, friend, somebody. You could track multiple vehicles in here. But right now, the 2 models are not actually created. They're just both create, read, update, delete with the models separately, but they're not connected. This maintenance event isn't connected to this car, which is eventually something I want to do, because right now, Danny put this in. You can filter this by oldest to newest, so these are both on the same day. So let's put one for here. Let's say oil change. Click on add. So these are October 4, 4, and then 6. So if we switch this, whoops, to newest to oldest, now it does that, which is nice. So that is filtering date, but then I also want to throw in filtering by like vehicle. So that is something I need to put into the app. That is not there yet. But what Dragon Dust PR does is actually really just more of a refactor. It's not actually changing functionality, and it shouldn't. What it's actually just doing is looking at using the observable macro. So if we look through this pretty quickly, we take away observable, also took away main actor, then we took away all of our published properties, which is good. And yeah, they noticed that this is actually not async, which I didn't realize when I first wrote this. So that's a good change to make. There's an extra space here, by the way, that shouldn't be here. Something as small as this, if this is the only thing, I would still merge it, and then I would just go manually fix it because it bothers me. But that's just me. So this file is good. Yeah, nothing else changed. Check that. And then checking these on GitHub on my side as a reviewer, I can see like which files I viewed and not viewed. So a lot of these are checked because I have looked at this like multiple times. And I appreciate Dragon Dust, you and I going back and forth and you fixing all the things I want you to fix, because otherwise I have to go and fix them sometimes if somebody never comes back to these. So that's a lot harder, especially with how many PRs have come in. So if you think about looking at the code and how there's 15 contributors now, I have merged 15 PRs already within these like 5 days. So I appreciate you going back and forth with me on this rather than me having to do all of it. Observable macro is a main macro. No, that's not completely accurate, I don't think, but I am not 100% sure. Dragon Dust, if you know the answer to that, let me know. You can see actually later down here, they go through and add main actor to different things. So actually, they fully removed it. So don't quote that. Introduce a formatter to make sure this is not mergeable. I don't like formatters, kind of, because they automatically change the code. Like, I know it's a big thing in VS Code, but I think it's kind of annoying. Just write the code correctly. It's kind of what I think, which I know is a big ask, but it's also, I already have SwiftLint in this, so if people install SwiftLint and it does run on the PRs, I have that, but I don't want to put a formatter in here just yet, because it's not my top priority to make sure somebody writes the code exactly correctly yet. I more care about somebody just committing code at this point. I'll add that later, so you can make it, but I may put it on hold. So next thing, looking at this, we have state for that. Okay, hang on. These are in different orders. Did I check this out again? No. Have you... Okay, it's up to date right now. So if this is up to date, I think it's still, oh gosh, does not build. So here's one thing. If I go through the code itself, I know probably looks all fine, but it hasn't been merged properly from dev yet. Because of that, I'm not going to merge it just yet, but that is part of this, is checking to make sure it builds and works. So if we, though, look at dashboard view, close all the little issues here. But you can let some GitHub action to do the linting instead of asking the contributor to fix linting issues. Linting is notifying somebody that there is an issue, it doesn't fix it. That's what the formatter does. And yes, I can do that. Right now, I think the way I have it set up, I have to trigger the, what do you call that? I have to trigger this to run because of how it's set up. So I can run this, and now the check is actually running, which is running SwiftLint. Yeah, SwiftLint should be the only thing running. Okay, good. That is there and will work, but I don't have it set up to automatically change things. William, you say Xcode formatting is rough. Yes. You mean the Swift formatter? Because if so, it can be. I've never used it, and I don't want to add it in the project just yet, especially right now when so many people are committing code. I will just go in and fix it manually. It's not the worst thing in the world. It depends on if there's a ton of issues. There was one PR. I went back and forth, and this person then opened like 3 more PRs because I had a lot of comments. And so, but they addressed all of them, which was amazing. So it all worked out. Jackhammer, or just Jack, nice to see you. Hi. It can be done, but when it's going from prettier, it's just not the same. Wait, what do you mean by that? Like, and it's rough, or what do you mean? So let's look at the dashboard view. So we changed state and then bindable for this, which that's right. We are putting this one in here because we're setting that with the dashboard view model. Did I comment this earlier? I don't know if this one should be bindable because we are creating it here. It's not being created above, which is the app. Oh, no, not that file. The app, basic app file, this one. So like here, this is state, that's right. And then this is passed into the dashboard view model. And dashboard view model is then here. I think this actually needs to be state. That hat looks really cute. Thank you. It's because my profile picture is a unicorn everywhere. Prettier in JS is a JS project. Yes. Wait, oh, so you mean it's hard going from writing JavaScript using Prettier now to writing Swift and then you just don't write the code correctly. I would say, honestly, learn how to write it correctly because I think it's weird that you just trust the formatter to do everything for you. Like, yes, we do that kind of with code completion, but I don't know. I'm like, there is a standard way to write this. Like, if you don't put a space here and it was like this bothers me. So like, I don't know, just, I know it can be tough, but I would say try and work on it. Cause yeah. Yeah, merging to develop, you can't build anymore. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's why, honestly, because it's not a ton of changes, what I would do, Dragon Dust, and I love how you're speaking for him too, because you guys are next to each other. I would honestly just make a new branch and try to merge instead. And the bundle identifiers. Yeah, I know that's an issue. I mean, honestly, what you could do, you could just wait. I can ping you. Let me know if this is what you want to do. Otherwise, I'll assume differently. I'm going to fix the project today. And I can ping you after I fix the project. And then you could go and merge dev. Could be what you do. Because I know I broke the project. But thankfully, nobody's been doing as many PRs in the last 2 days. So that's kind of good. So everybody else hasn't run into this issue. But I will fix it today. because yeah, I know it's an issue. But looking at this, yeah, for one, I think this needs to be state. I'm going to note it here actually in the PR as well, because so then Dragon Dust remembers as well. So I can click this add review, and then it'll add all of my comments at once when I am going through this PR, which is really nice. Otherwise, if I make like 3 comments in this review, and if I only click the add comment button, it would give Dragon Dust like 3 notifications, which is more obnoxious than just having like 1. Okay, I think that needs to be state. Is it Yash? How do you, I think that's the beginning of your name. How do you pronounce your name? Let me know so I can pronounce it correctly, because I would like to if I can. The weekend is coming up, so get ready for a lot of PRs. That is a good point that I have not considered. So it sounds like I need to fix the project today, and it needs to be fixed today. Okay, I could simply say Yash. Thank you. I appreciate it. I try to pronounce everybody's name if I can. If I can't, I'm sorry. I try my best. About formatting, the same argument can be made that a formatter also teaches you how to format properly, that haphazardly, especially when switching languages. Yes, I agree. It can. But automatically formatting everything rather than using a linter and going through and it lints everything, I think is also a good thing to think about as well. Okay, so I think this should be state, not bindable. And you can see technically when you'll see this in when I finish this review, this comment will show on this line so that like you know exactly what line I'm talking about, which is cool. Okay, so because of that, this stuff changes. I think that'll end up being fine. Is showing add view. Yeah, so like this, I wouldn't expect this to be a change. I think this is partially from the merge issues. When you fix the project, do we need to do a poll to get the latest update? Yes, you will. You will have to click the sync fork button, and then you will have to merge dev into whatever feature branch you're working on. If you don't want to do that, you can just make a new branch off of dev. Okay, now it should be fine. Let's see. So I just commented, this probably shouldn't be here. Let's see if it goes away. If we hit refresh. Ooh, it's still there. Yeah, like I wouldn't have expected to see this here because you didn't change anything related to this. So I'm surprised that that's there, this line. The sheet is presented part. Actually, wait, you know what? Yeah, no, just kidding. I know what the change is. The change from here was this was wrapped in a task. That's probably what it was. So that's fine. We will click check. Okay, so we are looking at settings view model. Ooh, let's see. Does it build on my machine now? Command B. We do. Okay, so all of these, here's an Xcode thing. All of these are just hanging around. If we do product, clear all issues, look at that. Now they're gone. They don't exist. But then you can build again and see if they come back. And we don't. This one issue, for anybody who's wondering, this is a result of Firebase. It's some weird Firebase issue, and I don't care enough to look at it. Okay. Am I too loud when I talk this way? Because I'm like facing the mic directly rather than if I'm facing this way, it shouldn't be as loud, technically. You always get confused between fetching and pulling. You end up stashing or moving locally changed files. Yep, then pull. That is totally fine. Because, yeah, it's confusing. If anybody watches my, I'm going to call you, okay, because you have like an actual username. Can I call you like D300? Can that be your name based on your username? I don't know the etiquette. But yes, what you can do if the whole merging thing is too confusing, click the sync button, just create a new branch and move your changes over. That's the simplest way. So if we look at this, there's only a couple things changed. We got rid of this, which removes an error. I would almost leave this, which Dragon Dust, you can change this or not, but I would almost leave this because yes, you're silencing this warning, but this is here for the reason that that there's another issue going on with this one. Because this is something that somebody is gonna fix because there's no error handling right now. So this is here for a reason. And here, let's see what else. Observable, that's fine. Those two things, the rest of this should be fine because there's not many like big changes at all. But don't change it. And here, I'll show people. Something cool to do is you click the plus. So like I'm gonna make a new comment. Is in the other PR? You said the changes in the other PR you saw already somewhere. Yeah. I've almost gotten confused what's all changed between who and when. But yeah, this specific thing, because I'm not sure if you're talking about the other thing, I wouldn't change. So I can click this button that says suggestion. So if I get rid of this, this is a code suggestion. So when I add my comment, it says, hey, this is what I'm suggesting to do, which is get rid of that part, because this is what Dragon Dust had added. And what I can do then is when we go to actually put up my review, then you can click this button that says commit change, and it'll immediately commit this change to like their branch. So then I don't even have to, Dragon Dust doesn't even have to go and change it. They can just click commit and it would work. Actually, they can, or I can click commit. So like typically I don't review these like when people are actually watching. So I'll like make these if I want to make them, hit commit, and then I can merge it and not have any issues. For like super small things like this that I want to change. But you have to be careful. Sometimes the formatting can get weird, but I'm going to throw that in there. What else? This one is just a var now. It is no longer. So if we look at authentication view model, was it the view model? No, it's just the view. So that's a var. Okay, no, this is one I think should be bindable actually now. Because authentication view is created from settings view. Where is it? Authentication view. Oh, I'm spelling it. Authentication view. Okay, can we spell? There we go. So yeah, this being created here and being passed in, I think this should be bindable. Hey Squigs, how's it going? How's your Friday? We are reviewing some PRs this morning. Okay, I think this one needs to be bindable because it's passing the view, because typically what was here was observed object. Yeah, because we're passing it into this view and it's created somewhere else. That's why we used observable objects. So given that, I would think this needs to be bindable. And then let's see, the last two, this is observe object. Yeah, same thing then here. I would think this also needs to be bindable. If it doesn't, let me know and link me to the documentation that says like I'm incorrect, but let me know. The project is coming along. There have been 15 contributors, which is amazing. And now we are... I have to fix the project because I am so sorry to everybody. I broke it. Technically, it works on my machine. It's all your machines that it breaks on because it's the bundle ID issue of I didn't set it up correctly when I created the new widget target because I completely forgot, even though somebody had told me, but I still forgot that the, what do you call it? The, widget target creates a new bundle ID thing, and that I did not realize. But legitimately, it works on my machine. It's all y'all's, it doesn't. Okay. Okay, so last thing is settings view. So yeah, sometimes I'll look typically at this, the diff, and then I go in the code if I can't understand what the diff is saying and go back and forth that way. Okay, you have to go now. We'll recheck comments later or on the weekend. Totally fine. Checking it on the weekend is probably even better considering all the issues I made. But thank you. I appreciate you for being here and got some real time back and forth, which is nice on PRs. Because sometimes when you're in a job, somebody will review your PR and it'll just be comments. They're not really reviewing it like you're sitting next to them. Sometimes you do, but sometimes you don't. I'm unsure why you want to pass bindable view models, though. Are you passing them around to other views? Yes. When you're passing a view model to another view, previously we would use observed object because the model was not created in that second view. So what do we do now with observable? Is it bindable or is it still being just passed as a variable and then because it's declared a state earlier in a different view, it just figures it out? That's what I'm not sure about. That's why I was thinking it needed to be bindable, but I'm not 100% sure on it. So, hey, did profile and settings view need contributing likely users to have a choice of selecting profile pic or change their name? Did profile and settings view? Which view are you talking about, Yash? If the view model is a class or simply passing them around, should just work. They're reference types. Should they? So then what do we use bindable for? I need 2 hands to drink from this thing because it's so heavy. Sorry if you heard. I have a, what do you call that? A coaster. But the coaster is also like a hard material and the glass is glass, so it like hits when I set it down. Okay, last part. Yeah, so then same question if this should be bindable or not. You need to watch dub videos about the new observable thing. I do too. That's why it's a question on here of should this be bindable? Okay, it's bindable for value types. Okay, maybe it doesn't then. I'm gonna comment it because I've commented on all the others. But I'll go through and watch this as well, and we will see. But now you're having doubts because I'm having doubts. Now we all have doubts. Nobody knows. There is a profile section with, oh yes. Okay, so profile section which has Apple sign in. So your original question, profile pic or changing name. Oh, okay, so in all reality with this app, I don't really need somebody's name or email. It honestly doesn't really matter in the sense of what this app does. Thinking about it more in depth, maybe actually we should probably get name and email, which is what you can get. But Apple says to get the least amount of things that you, the least amount of information you need from the user for privacy reasons. So with that, I would say we could make a profile picture and a name and be able to change that. But because of the moment that has to do with sign in with Apple, I'm not sure if I want to do that just yet. But thinking of features that I know I want to have in the future, it would probably be good to have a name and a profile picture. So the thing is, like, I want that, but I'm not sure if I want anybody to build it just yet because of other things that are not finished. So that's the hard thing with this project at the moment. And Squigs, what we're doing right now is just going through this PR. Just reviewing this PR, and it's just moving everything to observable is what's happening. So if we look at these, not notifications, issues, there are right now 29 issues, and almost all of them have assignees. And given that, really, there's going to be merge conflicts depending on what people are working on here and there. But I almost want some people to finish up these PRs before I make a bunch of new issues because of how much things depend on each other. And features that I know I'm going to be writing will conflict with some of these. But I think at the moment, there's nothing too crazy, I think, actually happening anymore. It's more of I want to do some things specifically before I go back and create a lot of new issues that I want other people to do, but I don't know. I go back and forth because it's like, why am I doing all this work when I have make an open source project so other people can contribute? Like, that's the whole point. So like, I don't have to do everything, but I'm like kind of saying I want to do some of these things, I guess. Okay, so if the view model conforms to observable, all that is needed to refer to them as state object. Wait, so if the view model conforms to observable, all that is needed is to refer to them as state object. Wait, I thought that was wrong, actually, because state object I thought went away, and it's literally only state and bindable are the only two that we ever use. You found the docs for observable object protocol? Drop it on this PR. It's number 36. Yeah, drop it on this PR once I'm done with this last review, which this last review, that's a state object. This is no longer observed object. Is it still there? No, because we're passing it, so we don't need it at all anymore. And then, yeah, the rest of this is fine. So I can click now, request changes. So this can be like, something must be addressed before merging, or approve, meaning it's good, I can merge it. So, the last example explains it only if you use $, you mean observable object class, or view model, or... Yeah, the protocol is different than the macro. Yeah, that's the thing about this, is it is confusing, and what's hard about it is it changes a lot of code. So in reality, I mean, Jack and Dust did this on their own. They can go and do the whole project, but an easier way to do this would be to convert them one at a time. But actually, I don't know if that's possible with how I have this written. Because we start at the top with one model getting injected to both views, I think you do have to do this all at once, which is kind of annoying. But on the bright side, the app is still really small right now. So, like, all of his changes. We have I can't see it because the mug is in the way. It's too tall. There's 1,289 lines of code. Okay, Jay Wilson, you were aware you were using the macro now? Yes, that's the point of this PR, is moving everything to the macro. Macro is not super helpful because it doesn't use combine under the hood anymore, so you can't subscribe to model updates. Ooh, yeah. That's a good point. I don't use combine though, so it doesn't matter as much to me, but I know other people care. Okay, so we want to say on live stream. Oh gosh, at I'm gonna drop your name. Moritz, what is your... Love how this gets cut off. What is your name? Moritz, where is it? Is your name Moritz, is it the same as your username on here? Okay, I would drop your comment to your name, but I don't know, I forget what your GitHub username is. For like, EL Moritz, okay. ELMORITZ, okay. It didn't autocomplete, so I hope it comes up. That's one thing about GitHub, it doesn't autocomplete unless you're like kind of part of this conversation. Okay, I'm gonna just do that for now, and if you can drop your doc comments then in here, that would be amazing, so then I can go back and look and see this as well. Okay, so some things that should be state, I'm gonna leave this here. Dragon Dust can go through and do that if they want, otherwise everything else is questions on if it should be bindable. Okay, and you already dropped your comment, perfect. Beautiful, I will look at that later. So that was one PR reviewed, and we have changes to request. And notice how many comments, we've already been going back and forth on this one. Comment on the PR, beautiful. So another PR, let's look at which one is bigger. So on here, this one has 127 lines added and 3 taken away. This one is 259 and then 35 takeaways. So Omar, we're gonna hold on yours. If you're on here and you can stay longer, that's great, because I'll review yours second, so then I can do this one first because it's smaller. So one thing for everybody when you're filling out this PR template, it says closes issue number. Fill in the number there, please. Fill in, so it's like closes, instead of issue number, it says number 4. I'm not calling this person out. I'm sorry, I kind of am. But when you fill it out like that, now the issue number 4 shows up as a link. It's a GitHub tip. If you didn't know, you didn't know, but that's how I want you to do it. Okay, Omar, sure. Okay, great. This one I think will not take long. It's not very big. Okay, you think you only need bindable if you need to use binding from that observable object. Yes. Okay. Because previously, the way it worked was we had to use that's not previously how it works. That's why I was double checking that that's what is happening. Okay, so feature 4, edit maintenance event detail. Okay, so given this, now I can go back and look at this so we can see the issue here of what this is. Edit maintenance details. Okay, so this, what I wanted is you go here, you're able to swipe and there's a delete action, but also now there should be an edit action is the goal of this PR. So we can see, yep, swipe on existing event, press edit, update fields, press update. Okay. So let's see, that looks fine. Build action mask, what is that? So yeah, that's the thing. I have to literally look at the PBX project file, which is never fun. But unfortunately, I have to look at it, and there's people who do mess it up here or there because it's hard. Yeah, only state and bindable is correct. Yes. Yeah, I'll watch the dub session again. I think I already have it. I have a ton of things downloaded lately. Do I have that dub session, the observable one? I know I've watched it several times, but I was trying to treat it as a podcast, so I was watching the bindable session as I was like walking, so I wasn't really seeing any of the code examples, which are helpful. Let's see, observation, download. Okay, we are downloading that on my phone. I will go and watch that soon. Jay, I will message you back after the stream on Discord. Thanks for not leaving me on red. Okay. Does anybody know what this build action mask is and why it's just a bunch of random numbers and then they changed it to 12? I don't know what that is. Everything else looks... Oh no. So they added their development team. This was probably the bundle ID issues. So like something like this is where I will go in and be like, suggest changes and just remove it. So we can see previously it was just empty quotes. So we can do empty quotes. And that I will then go in and just manually click the button and it'll be fine. But I guarantee this is probably part of me messing up the project. So it's not on them. Previously though, I did call people out and say, please fix this. But yeah. Isn't the vertical floating tab thing of Arc a little annoying? I can't figure out if I like this or not. One feature of Arc I really, really like right now is profiles. I have a Gmail that has some stuff. I have a different Gmail that I use for other things. Having them in different profiles is so nice because I generally don't keep 2 accounts logged in on the same browser. For the fact that I like separating things kind of. So that is one thing I really, really like. And maybe because of that, I'll stay on Arc right now. But it really does not work with like live streaming right now, I had to pull out a window. This, yeah, off topic. I had to pull out a window to have my live stream from YouTube up in a separate window because I need them in separate windows. Like, everything doesn't always need to stay in one window. And that was not how I worked at all. So I have had to change my workflow. I'm not sure if I like it or not yet. But that's, yeah, side topic. So this, because I don't know what this is, I would ask, do you know what this is changing? If not, I'll just change it back. Because this could just be some random Xcode thing uploading, but I haven't seen any other people have this. So because of that, that's why I'm asking on this one. Everything else, though, is fine, other than me having to go and change this development team, because I messed up that. You think it might have been broken before because the big number does not look right, but as for those numbers in PBX project, it's just an ID, so it should not make a difference. Should not, but it could. But I don't know. But I'll have to look. So also with that, if we open this build number thing, build action mask, we don't know sort of what this is referring to just because of how PRs work. We just have like a small snippet of code. So typically what I will do is open this in VS Code and then see what is it that I'm looking at. Just ship it. It happens. Profiles, I just use different browsers. Yeah, then I don't want to have so many browsers because I do that too. Like when I actually, like here, generally when I stream, I actually use Safari because I don't want you all to see my browsing history, and I'm trying to not do that so you don't all see it. So like here, if anybody is liking this stream, that's what I'll do is copy this from Safari, and you can buy me a coffee, and if you do, it shows up on stream over there. But yeah, I don't want to have a million browsers. So that part of Arc I really like. The workflow part, I don't know, it does not fit with what I do. So I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. Okay, update maintenance event. So let's double check. Let's check out this PR. GHPR checkout 80. Okay, we've checked out. We are in dashboard view model. And something we can do is build this. See if the project builds, because one thing is I don't know if this new function is also async or not. Okay, so I'm guessing they wrote it this way because they're writing it the same way that I've been writing everything else, but given this new feature, I would want them to handle, what do you call that? Handle the errors that may get thrown. Otherwise, I have to make a new issue for that, but I probably will comment saying handle the errors here. Okay, so like set data, is this async? See, this is actually not async. So if we get rid of this and then build, oh, but okay. So they're calling that, which is async. So that means we do have to leave this. Is this, the spacing is off, I think. Yeah, so here's one thing I've noticed. Yeah, all the spacing is off, so this is small. I would commit it because I don't care that much, but it's nice if somebody fixes it and it's you are the person who fixes it. I can right click on here, click show change line. We can see who Aaron Wilson is, the person who created this function, and it's not just me overwriting like everybody's work, which is kind of annoying, but yeah. Yes, I will use VS Code to look at something like the PBX project file, because Xcode, it's part of the Xcode project file. Xcode just automatically parses it, but sometimes you actually need to view it. Good luck with reviews. It's past 5 p.m. there, so enjoy the weekend. Yes, have a good weekend as well. Thanks for dropping by. Okay, so here, I will say, for one, the indentation is off, and then for two, handle this error. Because this is a new feature, you should build in the error handling. I didn't purposefully when I made the project, and this is probably where they're copying some of this from. I didn't for the fact that I wanted other people to do the error handling, and that gave me like several issues that I could create. So that's what I'm going to write here is, and then, yeah, you saw me, I can highlight this whole thing so the whole block will be highlighted for them to like see the whole context. This function and okay, so that looks fine. Otherwise, the function itself looks fine. Small thing, I prefer to have spaces between the returns here. But that is something I'm not going to comment on unless... Who is this? Aaron? Unless you're in stream right now and say something and you know, that's fine. Otherwise, I'm going to go back and just add spaces here because this bothers me. Okay, let's add review. The rest of it is fine, so we can say this file is viewed. State object is showing edit view. Select maintenance event. Yes. Okay, so this is actually one thing. If we go to the dashboard view. So for select edit view, so this is setting an object for this, which one we're clicking on. So we're tapping on one of these here. So if we like start to edit this one and we tap on this one, we have to know which one we're editing. And then that's what's gonna be passed later in the view that we haven't looked at yet. But one thing, this should be optional. So it would be like this because we're not always tapped on one. So that means there shouldn't always be a view. So, whoops, not that line, but this one. I'll copy the variable name. When you put two backticks, if we see the preview, it shows this as like code, which is nice and easier to then kind of read. So we can say selected maintenance view. If I can spell optional rather than... We're always selecting an event. Plus, then you don't have to think about what happens if that's optional. So let's also run this so we can finally see what this is. I'm guessing this is added in the toolbar, but we kind of can't tell, so we can look at also line 43. Yeah. So I would put a space here so the buttons aren't like right next to each other. Here's something I found is when I switch branches and run sometimes, how Firebase is doing the caching here and there, as you can see in the dashboard view model, nothing is there anymore. It like erases, my account like every time. So I don't know if that's just a Firebase thing or what, but it happens a lot. So now if we go click add event, tire rotation. Yes, now we get the little edit. We can click on this and there we go. That got filled in. Okay, so here's one thing is the update and cancel should be switched. But otherwise this I think looks fine. Text is edit. We have pencil, that's fine. Sheet is then edit maintenance view and we are passing in the view model. So there's two ways, yeah, we could do this. I think I'm fine with this, yeah, because now we're doing pushing on this stack for the edit. But otherwise, this edit maintenance view, let's open that. Instead of having to pass in the view model into here, something we can then do instead is use a closure so we don't have to pass this model over here. Yeah, is a different way. So let's say tire rotation, rotated, spelled wrong, click update. There we go, that says rotated, that's good. Button pressed, so there's an extra print statement left in here. So you should try to not leave print statements around the code. If you do, it's okay. I just delete them because that's something small that I'll just comment on and then just delete it myself. Can you also change something and make sure it's changed? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? So we'll see how the rest of this is implemented because I'm not sure if I want to do it this way. Yeah, and something like this, if I'm not sure I want to write it this way, I will just kind of, what is the indentation? Okay. I will just kind of like leave it there and then go back and change it. So also the spacing is off on that one too. But that's something I would change. We'll leave that as not viewed yet. Edit, update, cancel, those are all fine. And then let's look at the edit maintenance view, which is brand new. Oh, okay. So here's something I will say probably to change is that this comment is not matching this one. So it should. So when he created this at first, he said edit event detail view and then changed it to edit maintenance event view. I like this one better because it is tied to maintenance events. So this is something small. I'll comment on it also, but then be like, hey, just by the way, but then I'll go in and change it manually. Oh, I already did something? Okay. So let's look at this view. We are sending in the binding. For this, we have the view model, title, date, notes. That goes with that whole thing. And that's dismiss. Okay, so you have navigation stack title. Okay, this should definitely be on one line. Okay, header, date picker. Additional notes, yep, access vertical on up here. So here's one thing, I comment on this here and there, but I will just go in and fix it as well. Can you see this font? I think I commented this last time. I think I made the font really small. Or no, this is the size I always have the font, but when I'm streaming, it looks so much smaller. There, it's slightly bigger. So this on up here. I like multiple trailing closure syntax. So I like it where it's not perform, because I don't care what that is. It just looks like this. It doesn't have that extra argument on the end. So this is something I go through and change myself, but I don't like it written like this. And nowadays, I think Xcode auto-completes it like this, and I think it's annoying. Okay, so this is like that. Oh, here's one thing I was going to comment on was the order of these. The top trailing should be the update. And then I believe that is a human interface guideline kind of thing. Yes, I don't need to edit it manually. But then it throws in a bunch of PRs and I don't know, I find it annoying sometimes. So if it's enough things, I will go and just tell the person to change it because then it's more open source like more job like where somebody gives you back changes, you go and fix them and then you request review again. So that is what I would do. Yeah. I don't know. I can't fix spacing in a suggestion because spacing gets super weird. With everything. Like how this one, where'd it go? Not that one. But one of them, when the whole tab is off, when you do the suggestion thing, it does not work. It breaks it and I don't like it. So that is something only the person can fix or I just have to fix it afterwards. And if it's small, I just do it afterwards and commit directly to dev. Yes, the PR owner should make sure it is formatted correctly. But depending on what it is, because this is a project for beginners, it's not a make or break thing for me. And that's why I go in and fix it myself at the moment. Because depending on what it is, it doesn't take terribly long. Okay, so those should be switched. And also... between the... a single. Okay. You have to be extra sneaky for indentations. Yeah. Oh yeah, for the comment that was above, yeah, that's something. Yeah, if it's enough small things, I will change myself, like with the edit suggestion thingy. But now that there's been several instances, now I would just have the person do this, and then I would do this later. Okay, so here's a then flaw in this logic of... Okay, so here, this dismiss shouldn't be right after this task, because this will mean, also with error handling, the event could fail to update, and then we're just going to dismiss, and it just won't update, and then you'll be confused why nothing happened. So... Okay, but they did do title is... If title is empty, they can't update. That's good. Okay, set maintenance event values. Hang on, what is... Oh my goodness, the indentation on this one. I think that had to because of the... Yeah, because the Swiftlight, it said this is too long of a name. Hang on, what is going on with this one? This is something I would not write it this way. Okay, had the indentation issue and you found that you were using 6 spaces for indentation, while the project is using 4. Yes. I am surprised you've used 6. I've never heard people use 6. I only hear people use 4 or 2. And yes, you 100% should match it to the project. I think I just put that in the contributing because somebody else put up a PR with only 2 spaces everywhere. And that's something that, like, that is just how coding collaboratively works. Your settings, for the most part, should be the same. And yeah, you can't just put up a PR with only 2 spaces on everything when the whole project is 4. That's not what you should do. So what is happening with the set maintenance event? Okay, so this is setting this event object. So what's happening right here, this is not doing anything. If we comment this out, we build, what happens? Okay, yeah, this is not needed because on up here they are setting. Oh wait, no, hang on. Is this the other way around that I'm thinking of? Yeah, okay, for 1, spacing is off, but for 2. Okay, no, this is needed. What they are doing is passing in the maintenance event and then setting all the different bindings to the property so that they fill in. Yeah. Okay, so that is fine. Just kidding. Is there a different way to do this? Can you just do... Can we do that selected event? Is that build? No. Yeah, we were using it before. It's declared. That's annoying. Okay. So, for 1, the spacing is off. No, it isn't. Oh, did mine put that off? What is happening? Okay, there should be a space, though. This person has, like, no vertical spacing between anything. There should be a single line break. Okay, and I said, did I say handling this error? Where was that? Oh, it's in the update event. Did I already look at that? Here. Can you handle the error that comes back from Firebase if the set data doesn't work? And alert should be shown. And then here, what is this? var event. Okay, for 1, this can be a let. It doesn't need to be a var. Okay, this can completely be disregarded and just pass in selected event. That's the whole point of the variable. We don't need to make another one. We could get rid of the button press and then the dismiss. Okay. Okay, I'm a two spaces indentation person, but you'll conform to the greater good. You need to conform because that's the whole point of open source, and you have to write the code so that it doesn't look like 15 other people read the code. But I understand two spaces with SwiftUI, but the counter argument to that is you shouldn't have a pyramid of doom because you should be separating the objects correctly. But I know two spaces is more of a thing for other languages. But I use Xcode defaults, so that's what we're going to do. You don't... Actually, hang on. We don't need these, I don't think. No. So if we got rid of this title, this could just be... that built, right? Cannot find title and scope. Oh, because we use a bunch of different places. Yeah, this will work though, so we'll comment that actually, is that you don't need to create a new object. You should be able to pass so you should be able to use selected events. So if we take this, also putting this, I'm going to comment putting that on one line because we're commenting on other things. Okay, this should be one line. This is selected. That. Okay, was that it? Oh, and the dismiss. I'm gonna put this as a separate comment. Inside of the task. Yeah, the dismiss needs to be in the task so that the view doesn't. Okay, so that's pretty good. What else was the other thing I thought of a second ago? What else was there? There was something else I said. Oh, this one. Okay, so the whole thing is finally viewed, so I can check everything saying it's all viewed. There we go. Finish review, request changes. A few changes, great work, a few changes about also a different way to do. Oh, actually, there was the that one. Okay, and now finish review. Also a different way to do the editing on this. Actually, I already have that in my clipboard. Okay, and then please make okay, and then once you're done, I say click the re-review button, and I literally have a screenshot of what the re-review button in GitHub looks like, so that if people are not familiar, they don't know what this is the re-review button. So you click that, and then that lets me get a notification that you're done with the PR. Okay, so we have several comments on that one. I'm gonna come on this. Click these after you make your okay. Those are the development team issues. Otherwise, this review is done. So we have done 2 PR reviews, number 36 and 80. And then Omar, if you are still here, which I hope you still are, thank you for waiting. We are finally reviewing your PR. You would love to get a detailed review like this on your daily PRs. I get very detailed reviews like this on my PRs, so that's why I am now so detailed, I think. I get a lot of comments on my PR reviews. My goal is to slowly not get PR comments, but at work, ours are very in-depth. So that's why I am so detail-oriented. Okay, here we go. Omar, I kind of want to test yours first, even before I review the code, because I want to see how this works. And I very much appreciate how in-depth your, what do you call this? How you tested is. One thing, closes issue. Did you copy the link? Let's see, what was that? Closes issue. Okay, so you copied a link to this. So this is issue 65. I hope you're still here. But if you do that, which is the hashtag 65, which is why it says closes issue number there, we update it, this automatically does the linking. Okay, you're here. I will try not to be mean. I hope nobody thinks all my PR comments are mean. They're all to be helpful for ways to write the code better. Some are my preference, but then mostly it's because I have to manage the code base, so I also need to understand how it works. Okay, where is my cell phone? I'm gonna connect this. Let's see if it works on my machine. If we plug in my phone. Open that. Which PR is this? 78. And we can check. I don't know if you've probably did the... Ooh, you added an info plist. What was that for? Is this something you have to do? Everything else. Ooh, you need the scene delegate now? Did you create a new app delegate? Oh yeah, because I had deleted the app delegate, so... Okay. But you didn't have any of the development issues, so hopefully, let's see if this just builds to my phone. Let's see if it works immediately. Oh no, the build fails. Why does the build fail? Because of the widget signing, because I messed that up. Which one here? Okay, let's see. Does it build? I would call it constructive criticism. Yeah, that's what it's called. Be as stern as you need to be. This is actually pretty interesting. Good. I'm glad this is interesting. That is the point of this stream, is so people can see how I review PRs. So if you go and submit a PR for my project, you know what I'm looking for. Ooh, I think it's building. Is it building? It's going. The info plist is needed for the shortcut title, subtitle, and icon. Okay. Where is that? Okay, so is that a new one? Oh, okay. So now there's 2. Does it have to be called info plist, or can we call it something else as well? But it immediately builds, which is good. Let's see. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, you did both. Ooh, I was not expecting both. Add new maintenance event. Let's see. Okay, so I click event. Where am I going to write this down? I'm going to put it in the PR. It doesn't dismiss the sheet. Okay, so we clicked add and it didn't dismiss the sheet. But it did add it, so that is not working. You need the tab on the project target and then the info tab. The info plist is needed for the shortcut. Have a look at your changes before you do those on dev. Just push it. Yes, Morts, that's what I'm going to do. Whoops, sorry. I was going to go through and write down what your changes were. Like I wrote down you renamed the tests and UI folders. You created the base config. I haven't gotten further than that, but I was going to write down all the things you changed and then go in and change those. Okay, let's see the other add vehicle. This needs a title. I need to make that as an issue. The vehicle one, I did not put a navigation title on this. My new vehicle is a Ford F-150. Okay, so here, Omar, the ad did not dismiss on the sheet for the maintenance event. But it did for the add vehicle. Hopefully that comment stays there as I review the rest. VHICLE. But yeah, so it looks like what's gonna happen is I'm going to have to fix the project. You're gonna have to fix your branch and then hopefully merge those together. Hopefully it's not terribly difficult. And then I can merge your PR. Oh yeah, so the issue is just when the, I wasn't sure if it would work on the simulator. That's why I ran it on my phone. So let's do it. This one, if we do add new maintenance event, if we try to add this new event, when we click the add button, the sheet does not dismiss. Oh gosh. So you click add, nothing happens, but if we put this away, dismiss it manually, then the event is there. So the sheet, when you click add, is not automatically dismissing. It did work for the vehicle, but it did not work for this add event one. Okay, so I'll go back to look at that later. But yeah, that is a question I do have though, is does this have to be called info plist for the action stuff? Because it's confusing now that there's 2. Or could this have home screen shortcut items? Should that have been added into the original info plist? Also a question. Like, is there a reason there needs to be 2 of them? Okay, we'll check that. We looked at it. Yeah, UI shortcut item symbol. Wow, that's such a long name. Subtitle, add new vehicle. Actually, looking at that. Okay, hang on. Do you have to have a subtitle Because if so, I would get rid of the subtitle. Find the bundle prefix issue on my machine by checking copy only when installing. What is that setting, Robert? So this, I think, is fine. I would love, and don't do this, Omar, but I mean, you can if you want, but I would say don't do it. So I can make this a new issue, is have somebody create a new icon that's like a car, and then we'll fill that in here rather than just the plus. But yeah, I would say, Omar, don't do that so that I can make that as a new issue for somebody else to do. And so with this, yeah, I would say get rid of the subtitles if you can. I think you can, because let me check other shortcut actions. Maybe. Do they have to have one? No, they don't have to have one. So yeah, I would say get rid of the shortcut, or of the subtitles. I'll put that in the info P list. Where's one of them? Subtitle. Can you remove the sub? Okay, both actions. So also, if you want to write notes on what you're doing as well, that's probably useful. But also, yeah, I'm trying to make it detailed. Plus, I'm talking to you basically at this moment. So, okay, let's look at the maintenance, this one, the app file. But yeah, that, if you could answer that, that is a question I have on, does the info plist, does it need to have the name info plist? Or can everything you added in the info plist, can that be added into the existing info plist? That's what I would love to know. Okay, so let's see what you did here. So you added, I know you added back the app delegate because I originally took that out, but I'm guessing, yeah, we need it for how the shortcut stuff works. Man, you really do need this? Like, we actually, there's no SwiftUI way to do this? You didn't create a new info plist. You... Okay, I totally saw one here. Hang on. Okay, I definitely saw two of them. Everybody else saw that, right? There was one up here and then there was one down here. And now it's gone. But I see there's a new one because right here in the PBX project file, there's a line for info plist. So something new definitely was created. And you created a new main for main tab view. Okay, because we need to, yeah, programmatically switch the tab views. Oh, this is going to mess with Dragon Dust's PR a lot. Which is fine, but that's open source for you. Main, okay, I'm fine calling it that. I wasn't sure, but it's fine. Enum tab selection, I'm cool with that. Okay, we'll go into that one in a second, but maybe the widget group. The widget group for that info plist? It's located in the project info tab. Wait, this? Hang on a second. Okay, yeah, here is this new info plist that was created because, okay, I swear I saw one, that there was already an info plist. Okay, was I seeing this one? Okay, that's what you meant by it was in the widget group. Okay, cool. I was like, I swore I saw two of them. Okay. So we are good with that. Okay, so was that all? That wasn't always at the top though, was it? Was it lower? Either way though, yeah, there's nothing in it other than, well, because actually, can you add what you added in that info plist? Can that be added into this one inside of the project in the info tab? Because that's where stuff is now. It's not in a specific info plist file, I don't think. Where is this one coming from then? Is that in the widget group? I don't know. I'll have to look back at that one. But otherwise, the app file, that's all fine. Okay, so we have an update incoming. And then we have to give it the scene config. Interesting. And then we use the scene config. Okay, and then you had a singleton here. Action service. Class is observable object. Ooh, what's action? Okay, so that is the action service. I would rename this file not action service, but call it action. Because that's what the main thing is that's going on. Because action service is technically over here. Because I haven't done this. I mean, this looks fine to me otherwise. And then one thing is we probably now want to move the Firebase config into the did finish launching with options because we do have an application delegate file, whereas previously I took that out. So yeah, I'll note that. Is there another one? Hang on. Yeah. Also, you don't need to fix it now, but just as a comment for you to be aware. I'm going to make this build for macOS, and this is going to break for macOS because this property wrapper thing does not work for macOS. But that can be something for somebody else to fix. You gotta go. Very informative. Thanks for a good stream. Yeah, D300, thank you for dropping by. Have a good rest of your day or evening. Okay, so Robert, checking copy only when installing in the target is the workaround to get the app to run on the simulator. Does not resolve the issue, but you can use it if you want to run the app while you fix the issue. Okay, interesting. You think our widgets are treated as its own app with its own info plist. Don't quote you on that though, you're going based on memory. Yes. I think, yeah, that sounds right because it has its own target and bundle ID as well. Otherwise, this looks good though. Dashboard view. Let me look, actually, where's the action service? Yeah, this all looks fine. What's action type used for? Okay. I think it's the indentation. Okay. One thing, Omar, yeah, your indentation. You missed one file. Is this one. Can you... use 4 spaces. And the shortcut plus I. Actually, it's a lowercase I technically. Update. Okay. That will fix the annotation. Otherwise, it looks fine. Oh, and I also mentioned rename this. Is that what this file is called, actually, also? Yeah, I would rename this not action service. to, let's call it just action. Or is it, yeah, just action. Okay, so that one is done. Let me look at the settings. I'm gonna do the settings view and the dashboard view, and then finally go back to the main tab view, because I know what's changed in there, but it also has, it's like a whole new thing. So let's look at settings view. You just tried to run the project from dev and got a lot of errors. That's sad. Where is derived data located? It's in the default derived data folder. Great. That's so sad. Oh, yeah, I have a lot to fix. I was kind of sad that that affected that much. I almost want to delete it, but like it's got to be there, so I have to fix it anyways. Okay, so this action service, we are passing it as an environment object into main tab view. And then main tab view is passing it. Do we have to use the .environment object and pass it again into settings view? I mean, it looks like we don't, but I thought that that's how that worked. Ooh, what do we need the scene phase for? Okay, scene phase. Okay. See if you can change this to not a half second, but like 0.1 to 0.3. Because a half second is really long, but otherwise, that looks fine. Looks like SwiftLint is misconfigured. Okay, I haven't touched SwiftLint since I put it in the project, so that would surprise me. You shouldn't have to pass an environment object unless it's in a sheet or a full screen. Yes. The question is... So we have an action service created at the top level of the app. It's passed in as an environment object to a tab view, which has it up there. And then here, though, settings view, which I think the tabbing is off. Yeah, the indentation is, again, off on your main tab view. But into here, then, in settings view, do we need to have .environment object to pass it into settings view, or it just automatically does? Because I forget where it crashes or where it doesn't, because I literally never use environment object. No, you don't. That's super weird. I don't know if I don't like that, honestly. Weird. Automatically does. That's so weird. I never use environment object. But, yeah. Okay, what is the next one? Let's look at dashboard view. Okay, so we added those things. Is showing add view, and then so show add maintenance view. Is that a new function? Okay. Moritz, hang on. I'll look at your PR later in a second. Okay, interesting, Jay. I did not think that that's how that worked, but it's, again, I never use environment object because it's kind of a code smell, honestly, to have one object throughout the whole thing, but I'm already doing that with other things, so whatever. 3 files only, nothing big. Okay, hopefully. Show add maintenance view. I want to rename this to something for the fact that it's not really showing add maintenance view is not happening. This is actually just the maintenance view with it, with the alert. I would say don't put this in a function. Just keep it there for now. We use them at work, but usually not at the top level. We have specific ones for certain flows. Be bad due to redraws. Oh. Yeah, for redrawing the view a bunch of times. Yeah, that's a good point. Oh, you added a function because it's called in 2 different places. Okay, I haven't looked at that yet. Let me see. Okay, it can stay on a function then, but it needs a different name. Change. Actually, I'm gonna put this where the function actually is. Where to go? Oh, what do I call this? Because, thanks, Jay, for staying around. I'll message you back later, because I have actually several more questions. And yeah, Omar, it's not show add maintenance view, because technically it's not showing, it's really just creating the view. But what do I call this? Because I can't call it add maintenance view. Would you put a new sheet? Is add. Okay, so all this is new. So because we have this written in both the, what do you call that? In both the settings view and the dashboard view now. Oh, but we're changing what we're showing though. I was gonna say we could abstract it, but maybe not, because this is gonna change between both, right? Yeah. Never mind. We'll just have to leave it. Same comment though about making this delay shorter. Did I already write that? Okay, otherwise the rest of this is fine, but I'm trying to think what to name this function. Yeah, that sounds right about the environment object. I just wasn't sure syntactically how it's written because I never use them. But, that makes sense. Okay, so what do we want to call the show add maintenance view? Just add, we can't just call it add maintenance view. Also, personal preference, I like to have a space right there so that, I don't know, there's a space between this little thing, the curly braces, but it's not terribly important. It depends on if I even look at this file and remember. What do I want to call this? Create. Yes, I'm gonna do a more swift convention is to use the word make. So make add maintenance. I don't love it, but it's fine. Because yeah, show just is not close enough to what I would want because you're not actually doing anything with that. It's just a view. So that's the reasoning why, but yeah. Make is fine. I'll live with it at the moment until I look at the file again and then want to change it, but it's fine for right now. So, okay, main tab view. Is that the last thing? Yes. So other than that info plist question of did you create a new one or I don't know. It looks like you had to change something in the settings right here for that, but other than that, this is the last file. And then I'm probably gonna head out because it's almost been reviewing PRs for 2 hours. Okay, so last thing here, main tab view. For one, you have to fix the indentation on this. I would say go through and just double check your indentation on all of them, because I know it happened on several others. Okay, fix the. Okay, so indentation, tab selection, that is fine. Selected tab is showing. Oh wait, what do these do? So I don't think we need both of these. They are not used anywhere, so... Those can be deleted. What else? So we have tab selection, that is fine, that is fine, and then that's the rest. Okay. So that was actually way easier. I thought it was going to be like longer to look at that. But okay, so Omar, the only question I have is with this info plist, did you create a new one or it looks like you had to reference it specifically or something. And then here, yeah, it looks like a new one was created. Is this file just called main? No, that's the group name. Can you actually take this file main tab view out of this group and put it right under the this file, this app file? Can you remove? Okay. Can you remove the main? Okay, other than that, I would check what possible info plist stuff you had to do, or if this just happened automatically. Otherwise, really good job. It worked, which was super nice. It worked immediately, which is awesome because that's stuff I had to change. It worked immediately, which is amazing. And good work on all of it, because yeah, I know you put that up like way faster than I was expecting. Okay, there's one issue. Doesn't dismiss the sheet for the maintenance event, but it did for the add vehicle. Do I have the link to the stream? Here, I'll drop that. Great work. Yeah, there's only, I mean, a couple little changes here and there, mainly, I think. And then shouldn't be too bad, but I will probably, let's see, merge yours. Depending on, this one doesn't affect yours that much. Oh, we haven't, man, we got a new PR while I was on stream. New PR is up. And then, yeah, Moritz was still talking about the configs that I'll look at later. But that was reviewing, what, 1, 2, 3 PRs? Took me 2 hours. Which was, it took longer because I'm talking about it. But yeah, that was pretty much what it looks like when I review PRs. Let me stop the project. Okay, so that is what it looks like though when I review PRs. And I think that will be the last thing that I do today is review all those PRs. I will try to fix the project because I'm sorry, I need to post that in the discussion that I broke the project because it's sad. But I was hoping if I don't tell anybody, maybe nobody notices. But I mean, if you're making changes, you'll notice. So, that is one thing. So yeah, I'm going to post about that I need to fix the project because I definitely broke it. But otherwise though, thank you for everybody who joined my stream because I hope that you found it useful and you can, I know you can take this as information when you then contribute to this repo. Oh my gosh, I couldn't think of the word. But yeah, so thank you to everybody for joining. I am going to close out the stream for today. And I will most likely be streaming next Friday again. Maybe. We will see. Possibly next Friday. Otherwise, I am looking at possibly streaming sometime throughout the week as like sort of co-working kind of stuff where I may be working on something or just also reviewing more PRs if there's any others. But again, thank you to everybody for coming. All my socials are floating around up there or they're also in the description below. But thank you, and I will see you all in the next stream. Bye.